So, Jing, when you got your Canva picture done, how much did it cost you to go get your hair restyled? Canva's cheap, but that appointment for the spa day and hairstyling must have been a little more expensive.
Guess that's the investment.
Yeah. Where Sasha and I just don't have that problem.
Lucky you guys.
I can put my head out the window and it doesn't matter.
Save a lot of money.
Alrighty, let's get started here with the
Uh,
architecture meeting for March 13th. Let me share a couple things if I can find chat.
can I share one thing?
Yeah, go ahead while
Uh,
I'm getting
I
stuff.
I created an AI project like voice calling agent, in which if I like feed any of your number, it will actually call you and it will talk to you.
Oh, nice.
With what?
Uh,
What? Can you repeat,
Well,
Jing?
what are they gonna talk to you about? It's like a psychology or it's a shrink or what's it is about?
So
I'm
yes,
sorry.
so I have created an AI HR, and the second one I created is like a person from Roop company, so he will give you free Roop instruction.
Okay. I don't mind. Have a
If
try. Sounds fun.
the DM me your number, and
Yeah, I
it will be
will.
done, and we all can like hear what it's
Yeah,
telling.
I want to try that, Oven. Yeah.
all right.
I heard
Yeah,
the radio the other day. They said that the AI in China is going crazy. People actually creating toy to teach little kids how to play chess. I don't know how true they are, but that's yeah, it was
Wow.
on the news. Yes.
yeah.
Sounds like they
If
are
any,
in make it more practical now.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I just dropped the meeting link in there. Please update your attendance, and I'll be jumping back and forth, so I won't be able to take notes live, but I will get them in there eventually. Um, so speaking of the AI piece, if anybody knows of a either for machine learning or generative AI, a large language model that focuses around uh, the DevOps piece or coding specifically. So I know I believe Stanford was working on one that was tailored specific. I think it was Stanford or was it Princeton? One of those. No, it was Princeton. Princeton was looking at creating an LLM around what more developer centric. So if you run across those, please share them because we're looking for some LLMs to work with down the road here. And we just need to start looking at them. There's been so many changes so quickly in the number of large language models that have come out since was it Deep, whatever the Chinese one was
Deep Seek.
released. DeepSeek was released. Everybody all of a sudden started publishing all these LLMs and new updates around that. Um, and the second thing would be if anybody knows if there are services for AI that are on a uh, basically pay per transaction model. So, like AWS has the Bedrock AI models, and they have a way to connect up to those models, and you get charged for the number of tokens you use or number of transactions, basically. And so it's basically your AI as a service instead of having to run your own AI cluster yourself. So it just is a lot cheaper for a project like us, where we would be looking at a per transaction instead of having the thing sit around and run all the time, because the number of GPUs and things like that just gets really expensive really quick. You know,
Uh,
you could rack
so
up a couple
can't we
hundred
use
thousand dollars really quick.
uh,
Yeah.
can't we use like the LLMs like OpenAI or like Cohere from Anthropic or DeepSeek? And for the costing, we can either use any AI monitoring tool, or when we are like doing the uh, API calling part, we can actually embed it with the Cloudflare, and it will go through the Cloudflare, so we can keep track of the cost.
Okay, yeah, if you could put those in the meeting notes, Arvin, that would be great. Add in those pieces. And if anybody else has anything, just throw them in the meeting notes of what you know that's out there. We're not today. We're not going to make any decision or anything like that. It's more the research, finding what things are out there. And by the time we get to next week or next meeting in 2 weeks, there will be a whole new set of AI LLMs released. So it's just crazy how quick things are going. Um, and one of the things I had a discussion with was that topic came up in one of the meetings I've had, where the LLMs are changing so fast. How do you keep on top of that? And there's this technology called RAG, which is where you complement the AI model with your own data set or your own like files and stuff, and you marry the two together. So the LLM can keep on changing, keep on getting updated, and it just looks at the external data set to process to give it a little more fine-tuned result. So RAG technology will be something else that we'll probably need to look at that level.
Steve,
Yes.
I put a link for you. Do you want to go and find models? I don't know. I usually just use Hugging Face.
I've
And
looked at Hugging Face. Uh, Well,
oh yeah.
there's a lot out there. That's why I just need folks to comb through and see which ones are more specific to programming or DevOps.
I just found a whole bunch of data sets there by typing in DevOps, and there's like a couple data sets, couple models.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to
Okay.
give them a try on some of them, especially on the
So
generative AI side.
for the
Mm.
development, the best model out there is the Cloud Sonnet from Anthropic.
Yep, I've used
Cursor AI
Sonnet
is also
before.
using that.
Yeah, and one
Awesome.
of the things that we'll probably need to stay away from is anything that's backed by DeepSeek. Um, The reason is the U.S. Congress just banned any AI models that are based on or have any reference or anything to do with DeepSeek from being installed on any government devices.
Oh my word. Yeah, of course.
So it does throw a wrench in things, because like AWS just came out with a bunch of bedrock models, like Arvin, like you're saying, the Claude Sonnet one. The latest version of that is based on DeepSeek, and even because it's based on DeepSeek, you can't install it anywhere in the government. So you got to throw that one out, even though it's a good model.
Mm.
Yeah, and if you guys could just update the architecture doc while we're doing this, that'd be great with those links. Last time, Jing asked for something that Jesse could work on, and we've been talking about the badges. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we can kind of walk through what I came up with. All right, and I will throw this in the chat as well. I'll get it into the, oops, I get wrong computer. Go. All right.
Sorry, Steve, while you're updating, I just want to give you a quick update. I'm sorry. Jesse's proposal was rejected by the school
Okay.
because, yeah, they were after something which is with UI, with a complete system.
Ah,
My understanding is they actually, once they submitted it to the IB program, they were saying initially IB will look into it unless you take it back. So if you don't take back, IB program will have own the IP as well. So that's why, yeah.
no problem. We still need to do this, whether Jesse was going to work on it or if somebody else is going to work on it. So it doesn't really matter. We needed to get through it, so it forced me to get it done, which is good. So this is
Thank you.
based on, yeah, thanks for letting me know. So we've been talking about in the last couple of meetings about the Jenkins badging and how that would happen. And it looks like it uses the embeddable build status plugin that will allow the badging to happen. And as part of that, what we would do is create a badge that would then, when you clicked on the badge, would take you over to the details screen, kind of like the details underneath the covers. I did not in this first phase here. I just focused on the badging part and not the details screen yet. We'll do that next. So just some references. The way the badging works is you are able to use an image URL in the badging, and what ends up happening is when you click on that URL, it will go off, calculate some stuff, generate your badge dynamically, and pass back the SVG basically to you. Examples, if you're really into looking at all the different ways you can add badges to markdowns and anything, you can look at the shields.io. They have a couple hundred badges out there to do different things. Because ours is so specific, we'll need to go ahead and actually generate our own image as part of that. So initially I was thinking that our image would be the security status, the number of critical, high, medium, and low vulnerabilities that have been found for that specific component. We can have multiple badges if we want. If there's something other, one I was thinking about was maybe the OpenSSF scorecard as another possibility, or we can add in the scorecard into this badge as well. I don't want to get super long, so we don't want it to go all the way across the whole page, so it has to be kind of condensed in what we're showing. Just like on this one, we could drop the word status, and we can put in, a scorecard or something like that with a number, that type of thing. Does that make sense? What we were trying to achieve there with the badge? Now, Sasha, you were on that call with Mark Waite and the Jenkins folks, right?
Mm-hmm. I was, yeah.
Was this this build the build status plugin? Where did that live? Was that for all of Jenkins? Was it for a specific workflow? How did it? Do you remember on how it
I think
was implemented
part, yeah, it was per pipeline. I think it was on the pipeline itself.
on the pipeline? Okay.
Yeah. That's what I remember.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So if it's on the pipeline itself, then when we go over to render it, we'll know we'll have to change from component ID to pipeline ID or something like that, because we can work our way backwards, because we save the build ID in as part of the component, so we can work our way back to the component that was created as part of that process. And then we can other things. Other one I thought of that we could put in here, I don't know if it makes sense, is if this is a component that's being built as part of that pipeline, we can actually show, give a count of how many locations that component is consumed, and also show the number of locations that it's been deployed to. So those are two other metrics I was thinking of that we can possibly put on the badge itself, or maybe do a second badge with some of that that usage or consumption type data at that level. So probably, what do you think? One badge or two badges? Which would make more sense as far as some of that data? Any thoughts?
Good question.
If there are going to be two badges, I think they have to be in some fashion distinct from one another.
Yeah, and I think they would be distinct based on the wording. You know, like this would be security status, and then maybe component usage, or we'd have to figure out the wording. But yeah, definitely agree with you, Tony. That we'd need to distinguish it in some fashion from the other one, and then make it be able to make some sense out of it with just minimal information. That's going to be the tricky part.
Well, that, and I would say the visual, the image need to be distinct from one another.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
most of the badges. Let me pull up. Show you what some of the badges look like. We have some badges on some of our stuff. So here are some of our. A lot of these are come from Shields, and some of them come from GitHub. The Megalinter and stuff like that. They have badging that we're able to pass across on that process. So most of it is like the name, and then the data seems to be the format that they got going on. And in my example, we were using scoring of the vulnerabilities, for example. We can do other things like this one is the badge for our Discord channel. So it's actually showing that we have 21 people online on our Discord channel right now.
That's cool. Oh.
Yeah, that's some of the dynamic data that we get, which is nice because with that embedded plugin, the badging plugin in Jenkins, you'll be able to go look at the pipeline, and let's say yesterday we had 10 critical vulnerabilities, and then the developers went through, did a build, fixed a bunch of stuff, and now we have only 2 critical vulnerabilities. All that would get dynamically updated for that pipeline. So we would go ahead and grab the latest pipeline run and use that to determine the current status of that pipeline, of that project. They're called projects in Jenkins, right, Sasha?
Yeah, they're awkward projects as far as I know. Yeah.
I always get I'm in so many different CI tools. I always get confused which one's what call what.
No, don't worry. Me too. I'm on my Jenkins now. I can just confirm that.
Okay, cool. While you're looking at that, I'm going to go. So what will happen is you'll be able to click on the actual link, and the badge, and the badge would take us over to a landing page. I just put this in here. This is our current landing page for an application or component. Obviously, we'd probably make this more of a report and take off some of the navigation on the left and just show more of the report, so more of a dashboard looking uh, landing page for where that badge goes to. And then obviously we'd have somewhere on that how to get back over to Ortelius, the full Ortelius UI, to see the details. So it's kind of like a stair step. We have the badge with the high level information. You click on that, you go to the dashboard landing page from there, and then from there you can go into the full application at that level. That's kind of the progression I was thinking, to be able to, and I wouldn't call it necessarily a drill down, but a navigation path, put it that way. Think of that. Some other things I just put in here to help with, because I originally wrote this for Jesse, was just some things that you need in your development environment to be able to test the badging. The badging would be a microservice that you can run standalone pretty easily. You will need to, the microservice is going to need to talk to our Postgres database and our Rango database as well. So there's going to be some database queries that need to be performed to generate and create or be able to consume and produce the badge values at that level. Does that make sense?
Sounds good.
All right, cool.
The answer in the chat there, it is called a project.
It is called a project. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, all right. Then we'll be able to, the embeddable plugin will be at the project level. We'll show the latest run of that, because that's what, from talking to Mark and the other folks from Jenkins, everybody just is worried about the latest stuff and not necessarily the old stuff. One thing that we could do, because we do have historical data, we could do the little up-down arrow. Like how you sometimes, like if you look at SEO, you go into the Google console, SEO console, they'll show whether you're trending up or trending down. We can add in those arrows as well as part of that.
Oh, I was just about to ask that. That's cool. So you put like a little arrow next to red, like, oh, you're trending up in this area, or
Yeah.
well done, you're trending down. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
cool.
Let me add that in here.
You get invited to the staff party at the end of the year if you get this below 5.
Yep. Well, you want to head to 0, so
Yeah. If you get a 0, you get a plane ticket, like to
yeah.
Hawaii or something. Like gamify it.
Yep. Okay, so put that in there. I don't know where it just went. That's weird.
It would be amazing if you could show like somehow how much money you're saving the company by fixing that, right? Or in some way, like the dollar's going down in saving, but that's actually your saving, right?
Right.
Be quite cool, right? You could show that.
I don't know why that just didn't update correctly. Let's put it up here. That's so weird that it's not. My notes are. Oh, there it is. I see where it is. Sometimes Markdown can drive you crazy.
Yeah, it can.
It wants a break between those two.
Can I say something quick? I said
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
because I've got an application that manages your Kubernetes cluster pods to show you. It'll auto right size your pods to show you how much money you're saving just by getting rid of waste. It's quite interesting, right?
Yep. And I think
Use it
that
from a
could be,
security point of view, right? It'd be quite interesting.
yeah. Does anybody know if that data exists out in the public world? How much a specific CVE costs?
Yeah,
I
because I don't know
know,
that either. Yeah,
yeah, because I know, like after the fact, like when the Log4j CVE came out, that it was it cost it was something ridiculous, close to $1 billion or something like that to fix worldwide. But I don't think it ever, if everybody knew at a more micro level how long it would take to, if they knew what it would be looking at.
Tracy shared some reports from IBM last year. Was it right? Was it about CVE? How much people paid it to fixing those issues? I'm just digging through my inbox.
Yeah, I think that's in general. I was wondering if it's specific to a single CVE, if like what the CVE database, if the CVE database or MITRE has associated a dollar amount to a CVE. Because
But every
there's,
company is different though. So for example, the Log4j, right? I remember my last company because initially we couldn't even understand what are the components on it. So that's number one to start with, right? So you have the infrastructure team go away to scan all the Java stuff. So issue might be simple for small company, you know exactly what you have. But for large organizations, a lot of them globally, you might have a server even in Indonesia. You wouldn't know they have something installed there. So that's why, yeah, it's quite complicated trying to get
right,
a ballpark idea.
yeah, yeah. We'll have to, we'll have to, I'll do some digging to see if there's any way we can um, come up with that type of cost that's associated with it.
but maybe you don't even have to have the exact number, right? You could just have a bracket. Like these type of CVs generally create this amount of millions of dollars of effort,
Yeah.
like an effort scale or something, right?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So
The
like
effort.
these CVEs, it's like the effort, costs generally between this ballpark figure, and these kind of mediums cost in general this ballpark figure, right?
Yep.
So you just earned yourself your team a bonus by getting rid of all the red ones, right?
Yep. There's two costs. One is the cost to fix it, and then there's the second cost. What happens if you don't fix it? And you get
Yeah,
and
exactly. Then
and
you get the whip comes
and
out.
and, and then you get hacked.
Yeah, exactly. You get hacked, and that costs you way more, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just reading an article the other day. The Polish space. You can think of the Polish NASA got hacked, and their ground systems were basically taken offline for over a week. So can you imagine not communicating with your satellites for over a week? And they're constantly streaming live data to you full time, real time data, and you can't talk to them. It's like that's a lot of money that just was
Got
lost.
evaporated.
Yep,
Exactly.
exactly. And a lot of that stuff is real time. So the satellites and stuff, are IoT devices that have no capability of buffering anything or saving anything. You know, they just keep on pumping things live stream to the ground system,
Yeah,
and then the
exactly.
ground system saves it and does stuff with it. But you know, you're missing a week's worth of data could really mess with some of your your modeling and stuff like that with what you got going on. So just a side trivia there.
No, that's it's a good
You know,
thought.
Steve, there's a lot on the cost of a data breach and things like that, right? So I'm sure you've seen it, whether from
Yeah.
Ponymon Institute.
Oh, drop that in the
Okay,
uh, if you can put that in the architecture document, that would be great.
sure.
Just the link so I can. Um, Let me add in. Go over that. And I'm just gonna. I keep on jumping on the wrong keyboard because I'm on two different computers now.
Another project, but that was just case by case, you know, based on focus on company when they have some kind of ransomware attack. Like you know, the one we just had last year, the UK TFL, which is running our train. So they actually hacked by a 14-year-old, which bring down all the services.
Yeah,
So I have some of those numbers. I don't know whether it'll be useful for you though.
So what you're telling us is Jesse hasn't been caught yet.
yeah.
Steve,
Sitting on a
I
pile of
found
Bitcoin somewhere.
I found the
Jing
data
just bought an
breach report.
island.
What was that, Arvin?
I found the data breach report from IBM and I posted in the general channel.
Okay, perfect. All right, so that's what I had for today. And what we'll do is I'll try to work on. I think we should look at the landing page next. Um, so some of your homework is going to be what should be on the landing page. You know, we should probably have four to six things at the most for the landing page details. And again, like I said, it's a stair step. You go from the badge to the landing page, all the way into the full application. So we need the four to six things that we want to put on that landing page for that that project, which basically will map to a component or application.
Steve, can you create a document of all these things? Because I have the subscription of Lovable, which is like really good for creating the front end side of things. So maybe I will connect
Everybody,
with some
can you guys hear
Ortelius
me?
members and we can try to create the UI of the application.
Well, first we need to figure out just what we want, and then once we figure out what data we want, then we can go into the next step of, and we've done this before, so we have a lot of it already, what type of widget we're going to use to display that data with.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. So first we just need to, first thing is identifying the data, and then from there we'll be able to dive into how it's going to be laid out. Make sense?
Yes, Steve.
All right. Any other questions or comments?
I just have one. I always
Okay.
have a comment.
All right.
The CD Foundation is doing their nominations for the CDCon awards. I have nominated some folks out there. I encourage you all to go out there. I just put the link in the chat. So you just need to go to the CD Foundation GitHub repo under Foundation and Issues. And you'll see some issues opened up that you can nominate folks. Ortelius is not in there. That's just for the CD Foundation. And if you want to nominate somebody for top CDF contributor, shoot me an email and let me know who it is.
Okay, so I have to send you a mail. I don't have to do like a pull request or something on the GitHub.
I think it's just an
Yes.
issue, so you can
It's
comment
just an
on it.
issue. Yeah, it's just an issue.
Okay.
You can comment.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jason.
and I think Sasha, you're last year's CDF top contributor,
No, wasn't that
No.
Utkarsh?
or was it Utkarsh?
Utkarsh. I nominated Sasha for CDF top contributor.
Oh, thanks. I saw that, Daisy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Utkarsh, the way they work it is you can't be consecutive years. So Utkarsh can't, because he was last year, can't
Yeah.
do it this year.
And it'll say in the issue who you can't nominate again.
All right, anything else? All righty, thanks everybody. We'll stay in touch.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye.